Good morning. It's Thursday, September 7th. Thanks so much for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. I'm Sade Campbell, and I serve as the Enrollment Communications Manager here at HCC. I'm pleased to be joined by my communications counterpart, Dr. Lana Pagal, who's the HCC Northwest Director of Communications. Good morning, Lana.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. See, you got some fall colors. I tried to tell myself I wasn't going to wear fall colors because it's not real yet. It's not real.
I know. I'm waiting for the weather to turn so I can start wearing my boots as well.
I think we got a minute for the boots, but I'm ready to bust out the browns in the deep tones.
Absolutely. Well, let me tell everybody how they can find us. We're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and we're on YouTube. We're also on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, which I don't know why we keep saying formerly known as Twitter because they want to be known as X now. We're also on LinkedIn and on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Well, just like fall, we don't feel like it's real, that it's exciting. We're hoping it's just a fad and it switches back with the nostalgia. Well, today we're happy to spotlight Coleman College's dental assisting program. And we have here today with us Mohanned Neamah, who's the clinical coordinator of dental assisting for HCC's Coleman College of Health Science. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So happy to have you here. You and Lana are going to have a real good conversation because that is a hot industry right now in just a second. But first, we're looking at a time in America. We're taking a look back for our Thursday Family Fun Day at a time in America where African American travelers relied on one main safe resource, and it is featured at the Holocaust Museum in Houston. Joining us here to talk about it today is Alex Hampton, who is a Changing Exhibitions Manager. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so happy to have you. I will say, happenstance, I just so happened to see the article in the Forward Times, which is a long-serving African-American newspaper out here in Houston, about the exhibit that is focused, let me start there, on the Green Book, as many know it, which was a guide providing critical life-saving information on restaurants, gas stations, and other businesses that welcome African-American travelers during decades of segregation and Jim Crow laws. And I'll say this just from a lived experience. I saw that experience carry over to generations, right? Like how African Americans travel when we go on road trips is we're packing up. We're seeing each other off, and even to this day, living in Texas as a geriatric millennial, let me put it like that. I remember going to my parents' home in Mississippi and knowing what towns you don't stop in. And so it's very much real. It seems like, oh, this is a look back at time, but everyone who went through this is still alive. So it's very much ingrained into lived experiences. So for those who aren't familiar with the Green Book, let's talk about why the Holocaust Museum felt it's so important to bring this exhibit to Houston and what it includes.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is an exhibit that was curated by the Smithsonian. And really, we were kind of in a special place to be able to bring this here, because to actually take exhibits from the Smithsonian, you have to be AAM accredited with the American Alliance of Museums. And there are less than 5% of museums in the United States. So there are 33,000 museums across the nation, and only 5% are even accredited and able to take these exhibits. And it really meant a lot to us as well, because when we reopened our building in 2019, we really started to focus more on also a human rights component, right? So we're teaching the lessons of the Holocaust, the importance of that memory and what that meant. But the Holocaust really was a massive violation of human rights. And so by adding the human rights gallery and the human rights component, we can really reach out to other communities and be a platform and a place where you can come. And, Houston is such a diverse city. We want to make sure that people can come into our museum and see people who look like them, learn stories about them, learn about the past, because history really is so important. And stories like the Green Book are so poignant, especially even in today's climate. It's just so real. Like you said, it's not that long ago, right? That this was reality. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I neglected to say the official name of the exhibition is the Negro Motorist Green Book Exhibition at the Holocaust Museum in Houston. And that is incredibly interesting because I did see that it was from the Smithsonian. And I was like, yeah, that actually makes sense why you all were chosen to do it. That is quite the honor for the museum to be chosen to do it. So what else? I think, a lot of people may be familiar with the Green Book, but what else is in the exhibition that they can expect?
yeah, so I think there are some really cool components that come directly from the Smithsonian. There's a really great interactive. I know you mentioned earlier about, everything you pack in the car, the whole family sending you off. So that's actually a part of your journey through this exhibit. There's an awesome interactive that they worked on where it's a touch screen, and as you pull the things into the car, you have somebody guiding you along the way, and she's explaining why you need that can that the kids call the pecan, and why you need to pack a cooler full of food, because you don't know if you can stop and have a restaurant that's going to serve you. And I think it really sets the stage, and it does it very well, because the last thing you're handed in that interactive is your Green Book, and she shows you, hey, take this with you, it'll keep you safe. And I really love that it really sets the stage for this exhibit as you start to move and travel with your Green Book, if you will, through the exhibit. So that's one of my favorite parts, I think, from the Smithsonian. Now, as a museum here, we always try to find the Houston component, as well as kind of how can we tie it back to our mission, the Holocaust, teaching the dangers of hatred, prejudice, apathy, all those things. So we worked with the Texas Historical Commission. Leslie Wolfton up there has been working for years researching the green sites across Texas. And they were able to highlight 8 local sites, including the El Dorado Ballroom, which, as you all know, just got a huge renovation. It's a beautiful building, and I cannot wait to go see it. So I really think it's great for people to come in and be able to learn about, the Houston connection as well for a lot of these green sites.
Yes, and I mean, I'm reading the notes here. There were over 10,000 businesses or associations advertised in the Green Book. So I love that you all were able to make that Houston connection. I too have the new, the renovated El Dorado Ballroom on my list as a place to visit. And for those who may not know where that is, it is right up the street from our HCC Central and District office, right across from Emancipation Park. So what role, we talked about the Smithsonian, and you mentioned the one who found the businesses in Houston who were a part of the Green Book. What other role did the Texas Historical Commission play in this exhibition?
Yeah, so it was really the research on the Houston component. We worked with them a lot on that. They will also be giving a talk tonight, actually, at our building about that research and just what the green sites look like across Texas. That's an open to the public program, so anyone is welcome to kind of join us. You can just sign up on our website, hmh.org. But yeah, they were really kind of instrumental, because, like I said, they've been doing that work for years. And anytime we can work and partner with these experts who this is their life, we really like to kind of, bring those stories to life that way.
Right. And, the thing that this did, right, there were, I think about this often. One of the first things that, I really wrote a paper about in college was post-traumatic slave syndrome. And here's the tie, right? You get parented through trauma for generations, and you wonder why do we do things certain ways when you get parented through trauma, but then also you get parented through limitation. And what this book created was an opportunity to have know where safe spaces were. So it created a sanctuary for African Americans, and especially the rising Black middle class who had more freedom to travel.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I love that you use that word sanctuary. Marquette, who was the content curator with sites, as well as Candace C. Taylor, that's really what they were looking at here. These sites were sanctuary. It was a safe haven in the middle of a dark road where you didn't know where your safe spots were. And this book really changed everything. It changed the travel. Because, when you look at that rise in that kind of middle class and the automotive industry in general, the availability of vehicles, it was supposed to be this freedom of expression and how you could travel and do what you wanted. But what did that travel look like for different groups, right? And so you really do, the exhibit sets the stage very well for that. When you first come in, you kind of wind down a dark road where you're learning and you're meeting the players. It sets the stage of the Jim Crow era. You meet Victor Green, you learn about why he did this, what drove him to make this green book and these safe havens. And I have to give my hats off to the Smithsonian and Candace. I mean, when she was here, she told us that she drove over 100,000 miles and visited 7,000 of the 10,000 green sites in her research for her book, The Overground Railroad.
Right. And, the thing is, there are things that are very much American. Jim Crow is very much American. And in addition to that, road trips is very much an American experience. And we're seeing that the intersection of the truth about that colliding. But I think what stood out really for me as a piece of history, I've known about this for quite some time now, but ExxonMobil's role in the Green Book and being a safe space, because thinking about where can I get gas is something that most unmelanated Americans did not have to think about, but knowing that there were gas stations on that stop and ExxonMobil role in that. So tell us about what was previously called as the Esso service stations.
Yeah, absolutely. So Esso was the exclusive carrier of the Green Book. The franchisees they were the only ones that actually sold this Green Book. And really, it starts with the wife of the Rockefeller who was running Esso. Her parents were abolitionists. Their house was a stop on the Underground Railroad. This was very important. They were a Quaker family. And as we know, the Quakers really, they didn't take part in any of this because to them, people are people. And so she really kind of pushed that and said, this is important. We need to support these communities. We need to really be a part of this. And because of that, Esso actually at the time was also the leading franchise that, several of their franchises were actually owned by African Americans at the time, which, was unheard of for business in that era. For large corporation business, of course.
It is, and I think these are the nuggets in history that we need the arts to help supplement curriculum and institutions of learning. So for those who are wanting to go to the museum and wanting to share with others, how long is the exhibition going to be open?
Yeah, so we will be open through November 26th. And again, to your point, I think it is so important that people come see this exhibit. So I'm going to just throw out some kind of free options as well, because again, if people can come, I would love for people to come see us. So we spoke about Exxon. Graciously, they sponsored us to the first and third Sundays of every month during the run of the show. Free family Sundays, so anybody can just come on in. And we are also free for anyone 18 and under. We just set free for college students as well. So you can do that on our website. And Thursdays from 2 to 5, we are free. So please come see us, learn about this important exhibit. I really hope that just the Houston community at large will come and learn about this important part of history.
Thank you so much. We've been talking to Alex Hampton, who is the Change in Exhibitions Manager at the Holocaust Museum, about the exhibition of the Green Book. We'll have information posted after the show. Please be sure to check out that exhibition. Thanks so much for joining us, Alex.
Thank you, Sade. Have a great day.
You too. All right. I took up a little bit of time, so I'm not going to waste any other time to hand it over to Lana.
Oh, that was very fascinating. So we're talking to Mohanned Neamah. He is the clinical coordinator of the dental assisting of HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences. Welcome to the show, Mohanned.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're looking forward to discussing the start of the new fall semester. How's it going?
It's great. We have now enrolled about 30 students in the program, which is our goal for the fall. They're excited, and we're excited to have them.
Wonderful. So what is the plan for the spring cohort?
So this was a recent addition. We have two spring cohorts that have started, and before we only have one cohort that starts on fall, but now we have two cohorts. So one starts on fall that we have our goal is to have 30 students, or capacity to have 30 students, and then we have the spring cohort, which we would capacity 12 students, and we're definitely accepting applications and starting with the process to interview students so they can start in spring.
So what does a dental assistant do?
A dental assistant is, I would say, the right hand of the dentist. They would do all kind of things, from the beginning, getting the patient, introducing the patient to the clinic, getting the patient medical history, dental history, taking the x-rays, taking some impressions, and then definitely helping to set up the room for the dentist. And as well, when the dentist is working, there will be the persons that are assisting them, handing them instruments, mixing materials like cements or impression materials, taking some of that themselves, and all the way to the end of the process where they would educate the patient on the next steps that they need to do, and then follow up with the patient treatment. So they kind of do all kind of different things, and some of them actually also work on the front desk where they would enter the patient information, do the insurance. So it's a very wide range of skills and responsibilities that a dental assistant can do. And we definitely go through all of these within our program.
Sounds like a very important job. So you recently had a graduation ceremony?
Yes, ma'am. We recently graduated our last fall, so it's fall of 2022, and we have about I think about 26 students that graduated. It was a great graduation ceremony where we pinned the students. They had their families and their friends that supported them through that journey, and it was a great, definitely was a great and happy moment for all of them. Yeah, it was very exciting.
So is the dental program accredited?
Yeah, our program is actually the only dental program that is accredited by CODA, which is the body that accredits dental school and dental hygiene school. So we're the only program that is accredited in the greater Houston area. Other programs are not accredited, and that's why we have more strict rules to commit to, and more guidelines to follow where it comes to the materials that we provide the students, the way that our labs are set up, the updates that we need to get from the industry. So we have to always keep much higher standards to be able to keep our accreditation. And we definitely have accreditation visits every about 7 years, and we just passed one about 2 years ago. So we're good with that, but yeah.
Great. So what certifications are available for HCC students?
Generally, what the state of Texas needs the assistant to have is a registered dental assistant, and that is a test that they need to take along with other preparation to be able to get the registration. So we prepare the students before they graduate to take that test, and most of our students, if not all of them, would be registered assistants, dental assistant, as they graduate the program and they finish the program. That is one thing that we offer, but the other thing that we also offer to our student is a CDA, which is a certified dental assistant. A certified dental assistant certification is a higher or a wider range certification where the student can be working in about 48 states instead of having to be only working in Texas, which is the RDA. But that would require a different test. But we do prepare our students for the certification, this certified dental assistant certification, and get them ready with the registered dental assistant certification for the state of Texas.
Right. So the next step, if somebody wanted to move on from being a dental assistant, is dental hygienist. Is there a bridge from
Correct. And yeah, and that is a very interesting perk, I would say, that our program offer that other programs would not. Since HCC offered both dental assisting and dental hygiene programs, our program is linked to the dental hygiene program. So we have what we call an advanced standing to the dental hygiene, or a bridge to dental hygiene, where we have two seats available for our graduates in the dental hygiene program. So if they meet the dental hygiene requirements, they would have an automatic acceptance in the dental hygiene program directly from the dental assisting program. And actually, just this year, we have 3 of our students starting with the dental hygiene program after they finish our dental assisting program. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, thank you, Mohanned Neamah, Clinical Coordinator of Dental Assisting of HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences. We'll have all your information in our post after the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
I always love hearing about that program. I know every year around the same time it opens up, where our dental students are looking for opportunities to hone their craft, which offer free dental services to our Eagle community. So always happy to have them on. Well, going right into announcements, another opportunity offered by our one of our HCC programs, free haircuts are back at Central Campus. HCC is offering free haircuts again on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, starting next week from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the J.B. Whitley building at our Central Campus. Please be sure to call for more information. The number will be posted after the show.
Our Northline campus is featuring Donuts with the Dean. So now that classes have begun, the Office of Student Life at Northline is hosting Donuts with the Dean to give encouraging words for the fall. And who doesn't like donuts? And that is Tuesday, September 12th at 11 a.m. on the Caldwell campus. And check our post after the show for more information.
All right. We are also back in full swing and making sure our students have access to the food that they need. And we will have our fall food trailer in partnership with the Houston Food Bank. Free groceries are available for HCC students, faculty, and staff through the Community Health Market trailer from the Houston Food Bank, and offered at HCC campuses. No pre-registration is needed, but be sure to go early before items may run out. It'll be happening, the next one will be happening Wednesday, September 19th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our HCC A-Leaf Hayes campus.
And eligible students are encouraged to apply to the Eagle Promise program to learn how to earn their degree for free. The deadline is September 30th. Check out our post after the show for more information.
All right. And I think it is a very interesting time to be in this time of year when we look back years ago when Harvey was hitting right and we were recovering from Harvey, and we are now in a full-on drought. But we are still, disaster readiness is still top of mind for a city like Houston that is on the go. So when disaster strikes, our resiliency team is ready. We'll be preparing to help Houston prepare, recover, and rebuild. Enroll now for short online resiliency courses. Funding is available. Be sure to check the post after the show for details.
And fall registration is still open, though classes are in full swing, but smaller, more intensive semesters are still available, such as Second Start, which begins September 18th. And all courses are offered in person and online. There's our online anytime, no established class meeting times unless listed. Online on a schedule, meeting time is set, and course meets online. Hybrid lecture class meets partially face-to-face and partially virtually. In person, face-to-face courses with traditional meeting patterns at various campus locations. Hybrid lab, which is our labs and our studio courses. To learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover cost, go to hccs.edu/apply.
All right. Well, coming up tomorrow, we will welcome our first UN Family Endowed Chair Award winner for Teaching and Learning Excellence, who is a professor of biology who proposed a project to enhance student learning using virtual reality technology. And it will also be Film Friday, followed by Mental Health Monday next week. Don't miss any of them. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Up to the Minute. We'll see you next time.